Terrorism has always threatened America, but it really became prevalent after 9/11. 9/11 was the first time a lot of people had actually witnessed a terrorism attack. It's the first time they really talked about it in schools and taught kids about what a terrorist is. The nation mourned nearly 3,000 people, and while they were mourning, they were praying that an attack like this would never happen again. After this event, the government built out a massive infrastructure. They created the Department of Homeland Security. The Bush administration also empowered the FBI, CIA, National Security, and Pentagon to take the fight to Al Qaeda. So these are just some things that they did after 9/11, as well as building up the people of New York and all the people that witnessed this. So how have things changed and what have we done differently? So let's talk about what terrorism is and what the U.S. should do to address domestic terrorist groups. So terrorism has two definitions, international and domestic. So international terrorism are violent acts committed by individuals or groups who are designated for part of designated terrorist groups. So they are part of these groups and they're usually never really alone. They have these groups telling them what to do and who they're going after. And so that's one type, which is very common. And then the other common one is domestic terrorism. So these are violent acts towards different groups of people. So they can be towards political, religious, social, racial, or environmental nature groups. So these groups usually have a purpose to further their ideological goals or to change a way a group of people acts or what they believe in. So we've experienced both of these types of terrorism acts. We've experienced groups and individuals create these acts in America. I know that we've had a lot of terrorism in the past 10 years. It's really become an issue in our country, and so America really needs to do everything they can to put a stop for it. So to start off with citizens, what can civilians do to prevent terrorism attacks at best of their abilities? So first, they can remain aware of their surroundings, whether they're at a church or an airport or even just walking down the street. Just always being aware, always having your eyes open and being aware of your surroundings and the people around you. Citizens can also refrain from sharing personal information. This could be on social media. I know a lot of personal information has been spread from prank callers calling and saying, or scam calls saying that they have one of your loved ones in prison and they need you to send money, and this gets people to turn in their personal information or credit card information. So avoiding that as much as possible. And then lastly, say something if you see something. If you see something that you think is just bizarre, isn't right, just say something. Speaking up is always beneficial and could always prevent any horrible acts from happening. So for the government, there is so many things that they can do to prevent these attacks, but it's very difficult to pinpoint which ones will work the most. So I think the government needs more transparency with the public. They need to be very transparent with where our state is with these terrorists, our relationship with these other countries, and if a terrorist attack happens and what we need to look for future attacks. They also need to create new strategies to discover terrorists before they attack. So another strategy is to utilize social media more to find these terrorists based on what they're posting, what they're liking, what they're doing on the internet, and just question them, because even if they're just a little bit suspicious, questioning them can make a world of a difference. And so those are just some things, but overall, I think the government can just do a better job of being transparent with America and with the people. And citizens can do their job by just being aware of their surroundings and saying something if they see something.